Here's the brand manifesto page in Notion. It is a page that you can use to record all of the details that will define how your customer sees you as a business. It's about the look and feel, it's about how you communicate with them, and it's about the values that you hold dear for your business. So it's everything is how your business will be perceived to the customer, and it's the reason why they will buy from you. It's finding out what your value is. It's finding out what your niche in the market is. It's finding out what gives your customer the compelling reason to buy from you rather than the competitor. So it's a fairly simple page. It has a series of worksheets for you to work through to define your brand. If you're a new business, then you know obviously everything's blank. But if you're a business for a while, then you can reflect on what you currently have and populate the worksheet accordingly to make you think about whether everything's still covered and whether everything is still valid. And again, refer back to how you're currently perceived by your customer, what all of your assets are, so your website or images on Instagram or whatever, to make sure you are really reflecting your brand as you would like. So if we quickly go through the worksheets, the first one is about finding your niche. So who is your perfect customer? A series of questions that guide you through defining who you want to sell to or who you would like to sell to in an ideal world. Then go through why they would buy from you. So it's really trying to find your unique selling point to make it so that you are compelling to them. And then finally, it's about defining a profile or muse that you can create that will stick in your mind so that when you're creating content for your business, you are thinking about that profile and how that content would be perceived by that customer and see whether it is right. It's of the right look and feel that you are trying to deliver. So that's about finding your niche. The second part is about getting clarity on your brand. So this is really about the look and feel of your brand, what you stand for, what the vision is. Again, a whole series of questions for you to try and drill down to get a real good feeling of what the essence of your brand is, so that you can, when you're in an elevator, you can easily say, this is what you do and this is what your brand stands for. And it's clear and you're not embarrassed about it and you know what you are delivering. So first bit's about what you stand for. Then we cover how you provide value. So a series of questions about that. Then your style. So your colors, images, patterns, fonts, they all work together to create a feel for your brand. And they all should work in harmony to give that overall look and feel. And so it's about pulling everything together to make it consistent so that there's nothing jarring or out of place. So you work through a series of questions, you've got mood boards that you can fill in, and so on to try and identify it. Again, if you're a new company, then it gives you some ideas of how to identify your company name. If you've already got one, then it's about seeing whether that company name still reflects back on what your values are and whether it's worth keeping or staying or changing. But again, that's up to you. And then finally, the brand voice. So as well as the images and the colours that you use, it's about how you speak in your copy or content so that when the customer is reading something that you've produced, it's all the same look and feel, or feel, definitely, and they are not surprised by how it's presented to them. So it's about defining words that would give that feel. So certain, well, if you're young and funky, you might have specific current words, trendy words to use to display that. But if you're more traditional, then there may be other words. It's whether your swearing's allowed in your content or not. All works depending on your brand. All of these things can work, but it shouldn't be, again, jarring or unexpected to your perfect customer or your muse or profile, etc. So you've built all of that in so it's not expected and the customer knows what they're getting. So that's about defining everything. We have a series of questions about market research. So it's making sure that your business is viable. So again, looking at your customers, where you'll find them, etc., and what they're looking for, looking at your competition to see what their strengths and weaknesses are, where you sit in the market, and so on. And then testing your business idea to make sure that there is a profitable idea there. And then the final thing is really just a blueprint and I call it a blueprint because it's something that you can send out externally from your business. So if you're a single person business and it's only you looking at this information, then everything that you've done in the worksheets previously still stands and there's nothing in there that needs to be hidden, should we say, to the outside world. However, if you're recruiting an agency to develop a logo or do any work for you, you can use the information that you've gathered in the worksheets and populate it here in a more business-like fashion so that you can then print it out and send it accordingly. And again, because it's Notion, you can easily export that page into a PDF and that information is then good to go. And that's it. So that's all you get in the brand manifesto. As it's a page in its own right, then it can then be used internally in other pages. So if you're using the My Business Hub product that we've got, you can then drag that page into your focus areas and then everything is visible from within there. So you just in the one page again in My Business Hub, and everything is at your fingertips and you know where to find it. Because I am aware that if you have lots of pages in Notion and they're all down one side, it becomes difficult to find. So it's just a way of filing your information. But the main thing that we're looking at is the brand manifesto and its series of worksheets that help you thoroughly define your brand.